What if, in the blink of an eye, everything you hold dear is taken from you? Your children, your home, your wealth, your health, everything you've worked for, gone. And what if those closest to you, the ones meant to offer support, turn their backs and insist it's all your fault? This is the story of Job, a man whose faith was tested beyond measure. In the land of Uz, Job was a man of integrity, revered by all. He feared God, lived righteously, and turned away from evil. His life was blessed: 7 sons, 3 daughters, and wealth beyond measure. He was the greatest man in the East. But even with all his blessings, Job's faith would soon be tested in ways unimaginable.
One day, Satan approached God with a challenge. He argued that Job was only faithful because of the protection and blessings God had given him. Take away all that he has, Satan claimed, and he will curse you to your face. God allowed Satan to test Job, but with one condition: Job's life would be spared. In a single day, Job's world unraveled. His oxen, donkeys, and camels were stolen by raiders. Fire consumed his sheep. A powerful wind collapsed the house where his children were gathered, taking their lives. Job's response was one of profound humility. He tore his robe, shaved his head, and fell to the ground, worshiping God. The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. Even in the midst of unimaginable loss, Job did not sin. But Satan was not finished. He returned before God, claiming that Job's faith would falter if his own body were afflicted. Again, God granted permission, but with the condition that Job's life be spared. Satan struck Job with painful, debilitating boils from head to toe. As Job sat in the ashes, scraping his sores with a broken piece of pottery, his wife, in her grief, urged him to curse God and die. But Job responded with quiet strength: "Shall we accept good from God and not trouble?" Job's 3 friends, Eliphaz, Bildad, and Zophar, arrived and sat with him in silence for 7 days and nights. When Job finally spoke, cursing the day of his birth, his friends broke their silence, accusing him of hidden sin. They believed that Job's suffering was punishment, a consequence of something he had done wrong. But Job, in his pain and confusion, adamantly defended his integrity. He cried out for an audience with God, desperate to understand why he was suffering. God finally answered Job from a whirlwind, but his response was not a direct explanation. Instead, God posed questions that revealed the vast difference between divine wisdom and human understanding. "Where were you when I laid the earth's foundation?" God asked, challenging Job's perception of reality. Job was humbled by the depth of God's knowledge. "I had heard of you," Job confessed, "but now my eyes have seen you. Therefore, I despise myself and repent in dust and ashes." In Job's humility, God rebuked his friends for their misguided accusations.
God instructed them to offer sacrifices. Job, in his mercy, prayed for his friends, and God restored Job's fortunes, doubling his previous wealth and blessing him with a new family. Job lived another 140 years, seeing his descendants through 4 generations before dying full of years. Job's story teaches us that suffering is not always a punishment for sin. Satan, the accuser, seeks to distort faith, making it about transactions, give and take. But God's wisdom is beyond human understanding. Through Job's journey, we learn that our faith is not dependent on our circumstances, but on the unchanging nature of God.